5 in 5. This is 5 reasons in 5 minutes why Morse code is the coolest mode. Reason
1.
Reason 1. And reason 1 is cultural and historical. In 1901, December 12, Guglielmo Marconi and George Kemp conducted the first transatlantic radio broadcast. They received it 21,000 miles distance. And you know what mode they used? Spoiler alert, it was continuous wave, Morse code. Well, it was a spark gap transmitter, but an interrupted carrier wave. Fast forward to today. Listen at the bottom of any amateur band on the HS spectrum. You will hear Morse code. You will still hear it. Morse code has a very important place in the culture of ham radio. And that's another reason why we need to keep it alive. And we will keep it alive because Morse code will never die.
2.
Reason 2 is simplicity. Let's face it, if you're home brewing gear, there's nothing more simple to homebrew than a continuous wave transmitter. Here we have my mooncake transmitter. This in its original incantation was 2 transistors, put out 450 milliwatts, and using this and my chocolate box receiver, I was able to conduct a QSO. Not having done a huge amount of homebrewing over the last 30 years, I was still able to do that. I can't see any mode of communication that's going to be more simple to homebrew in and construct in than using CW. CW is the mode that you need to learn so that you're opening up all these possibilities of building simple gear that you get to build. That's what makes this hobby exciting.
3.
Now, we can't talk about simplicity without talking about efficiency. Until the year 2000, early 2000, ships at sea carried ship's radio officers. I was one of them. And the reason why they did this was because Morse code gets through. It travels vast distances and it is very efficient. You can grab your key and start sending low power and still get through. When other modes don't get through, Morse code gets through. Now, I know a lot of you Digimodes people were talking about FT8 and whatnot. Think about it. FT8 was developed by a PhD scientist, and it uses a huge amount of technology to make it happen. You've certainly got to have a sophisticated transceiver, or like I'm using here, a QTX transceiver that is quite complex and requires a computer to operate. So you've got a huge amount of technology. So yes, it is efficient, but it's not efficient on the equipment front. So I still think CW trumps the Digimodes. And let's face it, it's the original digital mode. 4. Reason number 4, skill. Morse is a skill. Now I know all modes require skill to operate. There's a skill to be had in SSB, in the Digimodes, in all of the modes. But Morse code is something that not everybody can do. It takes time. And you can learn how to use an SSB transceiver in a few minutes. You can learn how to use FT8 very, very quickly. But Morse code takes a certain amount of dedication to develop the skill. But learning that skill opens up a huge arena of areas that you can work in that enrich your time in this hobby of ham radio. It is, after all, the Jedi mode.
The force is strong in this one.
And finally, reason 5. And the final reason why Morse is the coolest mode. Peter Parker does Morse. Well, as you can probably tell, I'm very passionate about Morse code. And I think it's something that enriches the hobby. And if you give it a go, it's something that you won't regret. I hope you've enjoyed this 5 in 5 video. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please comment in the comment section below. And also, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm VK2AOE. This is The Art of Engineering, and I'll see you in the next video. 73.